Hello, I'm Stacy Dainard, grade 12. I play linebacker and I'm here to interview my father and head coach, Stacy Dainard.
Awesome. Looking forward to it.
Tell us about your history with St. Paul's.
History with St. Paul's. Well, I guess I was first introduced to the school by good friends, the Robson family. Kevin Robson, the youngest of the four boys, and I were pretty good friends, junior high and stuff like that. And his older brothers had either graduated or were here in the early 80s, and they sort of introduced me to the concept of St. Paul's High School. I think, but like a lot of people, the idea of St. Paul's High School for me was more, I'm coming to play sports, and football was a big draw to get me into the school. And thankfully to Kevin's older brother Craig, we found out about the tryouts, and we came to tryouts as young grade 8s, wet behind the ears, and showed up and got into school.
What was it like playing in your very first game?
Well, playing or watching, because as a grade 9 I didn't play a whole lot. It was intense seeing all these older students playing, being part of this group with grade 12s, and being one of only 2 grade 9s on the team. That was a bit intimidating, but everybody was super welcoming, and I was pretty comfortable right away. And like I said, I didn't play a whole lot as a grade 9, and it was a good experience at the start.
What was one of your favorite memories or moments as you're playing in a Crusader football game?
Well, we were fortunate to be pretty competitive right from day one. So my grade 9, grade 10, 11 year, we went to the finals. Unfortunately, we lost in the final every year. One not so close game in grade 9, but 2 grade 10, grade 11 very close games in the finals, and unfortunately didn't go our way. So, playing in those games is always pretty exciting. But as I think everybody says, it's the time you spend with your fellow classmates and players, and having fun in the locker room and on the field at practice and stuff like that. That's the camaraderie you build is extra special.
Who's the most influential coach or teammate you've been a part or been with?
Well, coming to the school, Kevin Robson obviously was, and all of his siblings, and his dad, general manager of the Bombers, and his mom very supportive of football. So that was a big influence right at the start. And we had played football together prior to coming to high school. And then just guys I met at the school, like as a young grade 9, a guy named Glenn Crush, John Gilmore, Mr. Peter Pura here at the school, was in grade 11 then. And then just friends, lifelong friends that I have from playing sports. Guys I played with, Ilya Chalakis, Paul Crust, Gennaro Machia, Michelle Kahn. These are lifelong friends that I made through sports, not just football, but through sports in general. And in terms of coaches, there were a lot of them, right? But blessed to have some great coaches and influences on my life, and people who were both teacher coaches, like Kevin Booth, obviously Len Sitter, Denis Vurio, outside coaches that gave back to the school, alumni. Carmine Militano, first head coach, had a young family of his own, a busy work life, and here he was giving back to the school and giving back to us. So that obviously had a big impact on me.
What's the highlight of your coaching career here at St. Paul's?
I don't know if I could pick out one, to be honest with you. It's been assistant coach and a head coach for a while now. So there's a lot of highlights. Every year there's highlights. Every year there's really positive things that happen, and working with all kinds of different people. Individually, selfishly, as a player, being in the finals 3 times and losing, and then in my second go around as an assistant coach, I came back as an assistant coach when Mike Watson was the head coach, and they had won in '99. And then my first year as assistant coach back with Mike was 2000. We lost in the final. 2001, we lost in the final. Mike went on to start the Winnipeg Rifles, and I took over as head coach 2002. Well, what would you know? We lose the finals again. So I'm feeling pretty cursed. So, a big highlight was when the guys got through in 2003 and managed to to win the championship. So selfishly, that was a highlight for me. And then, like I said, all these other seasons have been great. But you know, working with you last year was hard to beat. So too bad we're not playing more games this year.
What's it like having me on the team versus not having me on the team?
I'm more careful with what I say. It honestly, from just being a dad, it's made life simpler. I haven't had to run to your previous school, your junior high, get you here, try to get you some food, and then make sure mom was coming to pick you up or whatever. So it's been a little simpler, but it certainly made me look at the program through different eyes. Right, it's my first time as a parent, as well as a coach. So you know, it's made me reevaluate kind of everything we do from at every level, and look at it from a parent point of view and what's the value in it? Is it too much, too little, that kind of stuff.
Tristan, what's it like having your dad as a coach?
It's, honestly, it's not too much different than any other coach. He's a good coach. He really knows his stuff. I honestly, on the field, I don't really think of him as dad. I more think of him as coach. And then when we're off the field, he's dad to me again. So what words of wisdom do you have for the football program this year?
Well, I think every year there's obstacles to overcome. There's things in our way, whether it be we're playing a season, it's injuries, or we have a loss, and we gotta recover from that. Unfortunately, this year, building from the spring to now, obviously the experience has been incredibly different. I think the only other group that could be equivalent is if we could go back and talk to all the alumni that were here when football was canceled due to polio, and how did those grads deal with, how did those grade 12s deal with it, how did those grade 11s deal with it. So I think the advice is just to keep working, and if you want to in particular play outside of high school, you can't afford to take a year off at all. So I'm glad we're able to offer the limited stuff that we're doing for guys to just improve their skills and get better. I'm glad that the weight room, for example, is opening up soon and guys can train. And then the younger guys, if you want to contribute, hopefully we have a normal season next year. But if you can't afford to take a year off, don't take a year off, keep working hard. And the rewards will pay themselves in the future, even though if you can't see it right now. We don't have that weekly reward of playing an opponent every week. The rewards will come. They'll just be in a different form.
So this concludes our interview. Thank you very much for the interview and your time today.
You're welcome. Thank you. And to all those alumni and supporters of not just Crusader football, but St. Paul's High School. Obviously, homecoming is not the normal homecoming, so enjoy the virtual homecoming and all the content you're gonna see on there. Go Crusaders!
Go Crusaders.
Thank you, Sam.